Hello, I'm Mayor Jeff Gahan. Last fall, I learned that CSX was likely to seek to abandon its line north of the Pillsbury plant to Bedford, Indiana. While I would have preferred to see the rail remain, there have been no shipments on the line for over 8 years. After CSX filed to abandon this line, I was intrigued by the opportunity to utilize a little-known federal law that allows rail lines to be converted to trails. Over the last several months, property owners along the line have been contacted by lawyers hoping to help owners receive compensation if a proposed trail is developed. But for most of the community, there's not been much information about the potential development of the CSX line that runs from New Albany to Bedford. This corridor is about 63 miles long. I was aware that trails were valuable for tourism and economic development, but our research shows that long trails generate far more activity and value than I thought. I also learned that a trail from New Albany to Bedford would be the longest in our state and would run through some of the most scenic areas in southern Indiana. In December, I began to consult with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources to see if we could persuade the state to help acquire the corridor. When it became clear that we might miss the regulatory deadline for preserving a trail option, I decided to act. New Albany submitted the necessary paperwork to convert the rail line into a trail, which was accepted by CSX. I knew that New Albany could not develop on its own a 63-mile trail that runs through 5 counties. I took this action to preserve a unique opportunity for southern Indiana that was about to expire. Since our filing in January, I've undertaken negotiations with CSX to acquire the corridor. I've held meetings with local officials in the relevant communities to gauge their interest in a trail. And I've been working with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources regarding final acquisition of the corridor and the construction of a trail. I'm pleased to report that everyone we have met with has recognized the value of a trail and has been eager to help. Our efforts recently received an unexpected boost. Governor Holcomb recently announced his infrastructure initiative and included within it $90 million for trail acquisition and construction. This could make the trail project a reality. The governor has recognized that trails are a valuable investment in rural areas as well as urban areas. A trail will generate jobs and investment in Borden, Orleans, Mitchell, and the other towns along the route. As an entry point for the trail, New Albany will be the starting point for thousands of users that will come to the trail. And of course, it will be a wonderful amenity for New Albany. Just as the Ohio River Greenway has become a valuable asset for the city, so will this trail. After the rail line is acquired, our next goal is to build a trail segment that runs through the Clark State Forest and Deems Lake, 10 miles north of New Albany. This process is not complete. The state will be inviting grant requests for trail funding. However, trail developers will need to contribute funding equaling 20% of the total cost of acquisition and construction. With a multi-million-dollar price tag, finding the needed funding will not be easy. Organizing 5 counties and a dozen communities will be challenging. Negotiations with CSX may be difficult, but I am confident that we will succeed. I am proud of the role New Albany has played in creating this opportunity for southern Indiana. I'm eager to work with the governor and the other officials along the corridor to create a magnificent new trail that we can enjoy for decades to come.